Not only am I the #1 Irish real estate agent here in Dubai, but I'm also a long-term property investor. If you look back on some of my old YouTube videos or some of my old TikToks and Instagram videos, you'll see me talking about some of my previous investments. I started investing in property 10 years ago in Ireland back in 2016, well, almost 10 years ago. And my very first property I bought was actually a renovation project. We bought it for 30,000 euros, which is about 90,000 dirhams, renovated it, lived in it for a couple of years, and we sold it to the county council for 117,000 euros. That was my first ever property. Then I bought another property in 2020 in Ireland, which is a 3-bed apartment, which I still own today. And let me in this video explain to you why I'm now changing from buying more property in Ireland to now starting to buy property here in the UAE, which I bought my first property in this year. So if you're looking forward to hearing about this, make sure you hit the like button, hit subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and leave a comment down below. I'm going to talk you through exactly why I'm shifting as an investor from Ireland to Dubai. So both these purchases that I made in Ireland actually performed tremendously, but they were tackled by one fun little thing that all you guys are going to be super aware of, and that's tax. So capital gains tax, 33% in Ireland, and then your rental income is charged on tax on your earnings income, which is usually, for most people, going to be 50% tax. Now, when you take into account your mortgage, repairs, insurance, and tax, you're not left with a whole lot of money at the end of things. Whereas in Dubai, none of that is involved. Now, you guys already know that, and we'll get into it in a second. Let's talk a little bit about some stuff that you guys aren't thinking about when it comes to your properties in Ireland. So recently, my apartment in Ireland has had to get a new roof. Not only did we have to get a new roof, but we had to get the roof done twice because of a mistake that we made trying to, I wouldn't say cut corners, but we thought we knew the problem, and it turns out it wasn't the issue at all. Throughout this year, we've probably spent the guts of about 20,000 euros each between the apartment block on getting this new roof done. So it's time, effort, complaints, also then obviously money, which all comes in, eats out of your rent and eats out of the whole point of investing in property. I'm not saying that property is always going to be easy and it's always going to be straightforward, but the whole point of investing is that your money's working for you and hopefully not causing you too much headache along the way. Whereas when you look at properties in Dubai, especially when you're looking at apartments, most of these issues, if not all of them, are going to be covered by your building management, which you will pay your service charges to. Now, we've got a building management in our case also in Ireland, but guess who's the owner of the building management company? Me. So it's on me and my secretary, who is one of the other owners, to take care of all these problems as they arise, pay the insurance, pay for the repairs, and organize the repairs, which is obviously a little bit hard while I'm over here. Now, although that property is constantly occupied, brings me in good rent, and I have to pay less tax now because I'm a resident here, so I only pay about 25% or so. It's still 25% of the profit plus all the maintenance costs, where when you look at something over here in Dubai, like I've done this year, I bought an off-plan property in Dubai. I've paid 24% of it so far, and I'm going to pay about 15% per year until completion, where I'll have to pay the final 50%. So not only now do I have an asset which is appreciating, and I have a property and money invested here in Dubai, but I also am going to have a brand new property rather than a very old one, which is going to have a 1-year warranty and is going to be managed by the developer there on out. It will be very easy to get a tenant because I've chosen very specifically the type of property I want. I've put time, effort, and strategy into the type of property, the view, the amenities that are in the building, and the location to assure the best possible returns for myself. I've helped 19 other investors purchase in this project as well. So as well as the tax and as well as the ease of investing, you've got, of course, the safety in Dubai. Now, I'm not going to harp on like every other person you've listened to on YouTube talking about how safe it is and how great it is, but stuff does come from it. When you are in my apartment back home, you can hear loud noises on the street until all hours, and then general crime in the town. This cannot be avoided. In Europe, this is common everywhere, and it's something people have gotten used to. But how you will quickly get unused to it is when you spend some time here. This is not tolerated here. Within your service charges in Dubai, you will have a 24-hour security team in your building, and that's in every building. It doesn't matter. There's not a building in Dubai that doesn't have 24-hour security included in your service charges. You also have your bins included and the maintenance of your area, and the kind of amenities that are in my new investment here: running tracks, paddle courts, mini golf, swimming pools, indoor gyms, outdoor gyms, yoga facilities, dog facilities, you name it. And underneath it, you're going to have your own supermarket, medical center, nurseries, all sorts of stuff that's going to come within the one building. Whereas in my investments back home, it's a walk down the street. Now look, I'm not saying that Dubai is perfect and that everything is amazing, but everything is pretty good, especially from an investor's point of view, because you can manage this stuff so easily, and also your property is a lot more liquid over here. If you want to sell your property property. Cash to cash sale is a 30-day contract. Sale with a mortgage in between is 60 days. When I bought my first property in Ireland, it took 6 to 7 months before I got my keys from when I got my mortgage. It's a really, really long time. A lot can change in 6 or 7 months. And also, if I wanted to get out of that property, I think it's going to take me nearly a year just by the time I sort out everything, do all the solicitor fees, to actually find a buyer for the property and sell it. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm making good returns on it, but if I do want to get out and start moving that money out over here, it's going to take me almost a year to do so. This is not very liquid. Now look, property is not meant to be very liquid. I get it. But also, it's nice when it's a little bit liquid, and it's nice when it's transactional. As an investor over here, not only can you get in and out of things quickly, and if you've got some leftover cash, you can actually jump on opportunities very easily, which you can do in Ireland too. But as I said, these contracts in Ireland, they can fall out of bed at any time. You can make an offer on something because someone's a bit distressed. All of a sudden, 8 months later, the deal hasn't gone through for whatever reason. That seller's after coming into some money. You can say, I actually don't want to do that anymore. And you can just cancel the contract at any time. That is not allowed here in Dubai. Once you're in contract, you will be penalized if you do not fulfill your contract. So if within them 60 days you do not pay, you will have to pay 10% to the seller, and vice versa if the seller's to pull out, unless you both amicably agree to go your separate ways. These are all things that Dubai has put in place to make sure that investing here in the UAE is safer, is more enjoyable, and is all around just better returns and better experience. And that's without getting into all the usual stuff like how amazing the tax is, how amazing the safety is. The real thing I'm trying to focus on is how the ease of investing is here compared to back home. So not only are you getting newer builds in an upgrowing city at a really, really low price per square foot. If you could compare Dubai to even Dublin, the price per square foot here is much lower, but it's even hard to compare it to Dublin. If you compare it to real major cities like London, Tokyo, New York, Hong Kong, we are miles away, and that's how much growth is going to come. With all the people moving here, the average house size is 4 people. We have 170 to 200,000 new residents per year moving here, and we're only building 30,000 properties a year, which is the same amount that's being built in Ireland. The demand is strong, the opportunities are massive, and the price is low, especially when you can utilize a payment plan. So if this sounds interesting to you and you're tired of your investments getting eaten away by tax and by maintenance fees and by all these things back home, whether you're in Ireland, the UK, Spain, Macedonia, I don't care where you are, if you're interested in investing here in the UAE, I am the person to speak to. I have investing experience for over 10 years in both Ireland and now in the UAE, and not only that, but I've sold to over 150 investors in the last 2 years. Reach out to me and book a meeting today, or follow me for more. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.